G'day everybody and welcome back to the Hardball Gets AFL show. This podcast is proudly brought to you by the Mazda BT50. You do ute. Today on the show, it's the 2-minute warning out of round 15. If you haven't subscribed to us, please do that wherever you listen to your podcast. Leave us a rating, leave us a review and tell your mates. All right, let's get stuck in. The Hardball Gets AFL show. My name's Nick Rynne, joined by Xavier Ellis and Ryan Daniels. What's going on, gents?
I noticed the cameras are here today. We've gone on screen now, and I just noticed Zave's just a little bit better dressed than he normally is. He's got it's got one of those.
Oh, he did a new jumper, right?
Did I know that?
No, you actually didn't know.
No idea.
No, he didn't know, but that jumper looks nice. It looks like the kind of jumper you wear after a day on a yacht.
What's the ORTC clothing?
Well, I must say, shout out to the guys.
Yeah, how much you pay for that jumper?
Love.
Yeah.
Paid in love.
Yeah, I bet. ORTC Clothing Co.
No,
hey?
they're very good. They are very good.
Are they?
It says Tier 1 without saying Tier 1.
It does. It's a Tier 1 shirt.
Yeah,
exactly.
Okay.
That's at the yacht club.
Yeah.
They're all wearing ORTC.
They give it to you when you graduate Melbourne Grammar, don't they? That's part of the pack.
Or I just had a meeting with the head of Content Australia this morning. So,
So you put on your
All
finest.
that.
Put on your finest
Yeah,
jumper.
that or you just had an important meeting before this. So,
How'd it go? Go all right?
It went okay. Yeah.
Doesn't sound like it went that well.
No, it went all right.
Yeah. Oh, so it went really well.
Yeah, very well.
Nah.
It went so well.
Nah.
What's going on?
It's been a pleasure knowing you guys.
Yeah, see you later.
He's
then.
gone.
You'll see me at the Cottesloe Golf Course most
Going
afternoons.
big time.
I actually went to probably Royal Fremantle Golf Course, and the first time wandering through there, I was like, I can see myself here in 20 years.
How nerve-wracking's the bloody first tee there?
I didn't go through it because we're doing an activation on course.
You reckon Augusta's a tough tee off? Mate, people come around the corner, and I'm hopeless. And you every chance is to pin an old bloke in the head. It's anyway. So we do have a rule: we don't hang around on the first.
You just get in,
play, grab and run.
Go.
Yeah, right.
That's where all the Dockers are members. There's 10 or 12 of them members there.
Oh,
Really?
right. I remember a weird video. Was it Pav and when Minji or Minwoo Lee went pro, and there was some weird video they did there?
Not sure.
Yeah.
There you go. Well, that's where they are members.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was nice. I could picture myself as an old man just constantly at the front bar. I don't know how much golf I'd play, but I was like,
going
I
to
could
say,
park here.
he doesn't quite realise he is already an old man.
Yeah.
Well, this
Nick's
is very
always
true.
been an old man.
Well, how do you
Very
got
true.
on?
Oh, Queensland Football Club.
Cool.
We've discussed this a few times. My mate Ken Sakatar.
Never
surgeon.
discussed it with me.
He's got a clothing brand now.
Oh, right. Nice.
Yeah, it's good, mate. Get onto it.
Couple of
Just get a new drop.
shout-outs for close
Yeah, I paid
mates.
for this one.
I
There's
tell
a
you
difference.
what, you guys, with your plugs.
If I get a little bit hot too, I'll just take my t-shirt off.
Here we
jump
go.
off and-
Oh, he's got the ORTC shirt. Oh, my goodness.
Just if I get a little hot.
No,
He said
can
that
I-
we're getting paid out here by
I
the
don't
bloke
know,
who has his
yeah.
own special change room downstairs.
We
now.
need, well, we need
Did I see? Did you get locked out of your own change room? Was that what was going on? When you were trying to keep a low profile?
No,
walking into
just-
HR to get your scanner fixed.
No. Just my card. When my son comes to work, he peels my card apart. So I had to go to HR and get a new card.
Right.
Which I'm very excited about because now it works on the printers. But back on the ORTC.
Yeah.
Big day.
This is not a coincidence that you have the shirt and the jumper. So are you actually getting free swag from this company?
Mate, I got a shitload of it.
Really? So you're admitting this one freely and openly.
Yeah,
That's
normally
absolutely.
you play
free
it down a
stuff.
bit.
What does ORTC stand for? Do you know?
Trying to make something up that has Ryan in it. But
Obviously,
anyway.
Ryan couldn't afford this. That doesn't
Obviously,
quite work.
Ryan is a tight
He's
C.
he's too cool. He's too cool.
Tight.
I like this. Yeah.
Tight.
Starts with a C.
Yeah.
ORTC.
All right, there you go.
Okay.
Time for me to go.
Where
I
is
got
that?
some good stuff today.
Really?
What do you
I've
got?
done a lot of research.
Oh, okay.
I've
good.
done some
Are you
really...
talking about actual points or just
Yeah.
like
I'm feeling
pre-point
really
discussion?
good. Feeling really good.
Yeah.
Right, I'm also the same, given that the last two I hadn't actually filled in before I came into this
I haven't
room.
done a thing, so anyway, we're rock and roll.
Oh, I'm excited.
But
Natural talent.
the one thing I do need to touch on now, I did listen to the start of the podcast last week.
here
I
we go.
wasn't here.
Here we go.
Plenty of feedback saying probably don't have too many more days off
Yeah.
the podcast X
I heard,
because
I heard it was the highest rating episode we've ever had.
I mean, they text me saying 5, and I thought 5 out of 5. That's pretty bloody good. They said 5 out of 10.
Yeah.
No, but mate, when you run a gag, You can't run it on 3 different formats exactly the same.
Which gag was that one?
Basil. I took Basil. Look at Basil now. Oh. Yeah. Come on, mate. You don't think I catch up with things?
Did that annoy you a little bit? Did it get
Not
you?
really.
Just rile you up a little
Not
bit?
really, because the's not a safer bloke in Australia.
After your meeting today?
No. Oh, wow. No, that's actually a private chat. So maybe we edit that out.
So one of the, I can't remember if it was on the 2-minute warning or later in the week, posed a question about, what number do you have to get beaten by in a grand final to lose?
Oh, yeah.
So somebody, Jesse,
No, I did it in a column.
Jesse Shakespeare has come back with the number.
Oh, okay.
So he's run them. He's got a chart and everything here, but basically, if you lose by less than 20 points, a 0% chance of missing the 8. If you lose by less than 40%,
less than 40 points.
Less than 40 points, 8.3% chance of missing the 8.
Yeah.
Lose by more than 40 points, 63.6% chance of missing the 8 the following year.
What about winning?
Well, we don't know. That wasn't the question we were asking. We were asking how much do you have to get pumped by in a grand final to have a horror year the next one.
Yeah.
Lose by more than 66.7% chance of missing the 8.
So I put some of this in my column the other day, and I'm just trying to find the number, but it was quite staggering how much it's changed since the 80s, 70s and 80s and 90s, right? So between 1974 and 1991, 9 teams were beaten by 40 or more in a grand final. 6 of those teams went on to win the flag the next year.
Yeah, right.
6 out of 9 bounced back hardcore, and all 9 of the teams made finals the following year.
Yeah, right.
So they all bounced back okay, and
now,
6 of them won the flag. Since 2000, 11 teams have lost by 40 or more in a granny. Not one has bounced back. 6 of the teams finished 10th or lower the following season.
Yeah.
7 if you include Sydney this year. Not one of those 11 teams won a final the following year. And Xavier was part of one of those teams as well.
So this is 40 points is the inflection point.
40 points now since 2000 is the killer. You lose by 40, you're done.
What did you lose by 40 in the grand final? Oh, West Coast. I was thinking about Hawthorn. I couldn't remember
West
the Hawthorn
Coast.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right,
fine.
let's get into it. Captain
All right.
Happy over here needs a nap.
We'll kick it off with Collingwood.
Gee, that's a tinny sound. Anyway, hey, Collingwood. I really just wanted to go through. So Collingwood, I think we are all happy that they're premiership favourites at the moment.
Yeah.
Their team's great.
Yep.
No real missing spots where they've...
Still I don't know, you still want a better key forward.
But
I want Nick Stay to come in and get settled.
I just want to go through their side and how this list has formed. A little bit of West Coast, how quickly you can find players if you get it right. So Dacos, father-son.
Yeah, well, that helps.
Tom Mitchell, Hawthorn. Dacos, father-son. Cameron, Sydney.
Yep.
There's where it gets Quaino drafted. Howe, Melbourne. Taylor Adams, Sydney. Pendlebury drafted. Noble, mature age.
Mid-season as well.
Mid-season. Lipinski, Bulldogs. Cox from America. Markov from around the world. Richmond and Sons. Yep. Hoskin Elliott, Giants. Darcy Moore, father-son. Crisper, Brisbane. Harrison was drafted, but drafted pick 50, whatever. Bobby Hill, Giants. Murphy drafted, but not early. Mychek, mature age. And McCreary was rookie or late?
I think a rookie, I feel like.
Sounds right.
How's that list?
There's not a lot
incredible.
of first-round picks
So obviously
there, is there?
Pendlebury, I skipped over.
DeGoey was a high.
Didn't play on the weekend either.
Yeah, right.
You were ahead of Pendlebury, weren't you?
Yes.
Drafted.
Yeah, give them Power Boys. 3 of us picked 2, 3, 5 in the draft.
That is an incredible list.
That's a good
Bill.
list,
Yeah.
shape, isn't it?
That's amazing. And considering, and someone was talking about this, I can't remember who it was, a couple of days ago, about West Coast in particular, and just saying 2-3 years ago, I think it was Scotty Selwood, saying that they were a mess.
Dice rates, yeah.
Remember the Ned Guy stuff, and they're giving away Trelaw.
Mate,
And
Ned Guy, where's he at the moment?
Oh,
He's at the
Ned
AFL.
Guy.
Is he? Well,
Guy.
he got it right.
He
Yeah,
needs
he
to
did.
take a victory lap, Ned Guy.
Yeah.
Because he got smashed.
Well, we thought it was all a joke.
We did.
Yeah.
We took the piss.
We
Yeah.
did. That Ned Guy.
Yeah.
You still probably needed better talking points ahead of going on Fox Footy that night, but
No,
He
but
got thrown under the bus a bit.
He did a
Ned.
little bit.
But my God, he looked like a genius now.
haven't they watched? So, anyway, that's how quickly things can turn if you get it right.
Port Adelaide in second
Remember
place.
when we flagged our man Dill Will?
Yeah, he did.
Remember? Just keep an eye on Dill Will. Remember?
Will.
Dylan
I know what he
Williams.
looks like now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
18
Sorry.
disposals, 6 marks a game this season, 4.7
Yeah.
rebounds from 50. But
Been good.
Here's the thing, right? Drafted in 2019, pick 23, so decent pick. Doesn't debut for 2 years. Has to wait till round 15, 2021. Plays 1 game and gets dropped. Then doesn't play at all last year. Not 1 game in 2022. This year he has played 11 in a row. Now,
Yeah,
here's
he's flying.
the interesting stat. His debut was a win. He's played 11 in a row.
Is that the
All
streak?
wins.
11 wins.
Dylan
There he
Williams.
goes.
He is the key
Who
to
was
everything.
the,
He has not
Melbourne
lost a
kid?
game.
The ranger?
hang
Jake
on.
Bowie.
Bowie.
Jake Bowie.
The red-headed gentleman?
Yeah, that's a vicious term.
It's rich coming from a bloke that's as bald as anything.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
I
okay,
reckon
mate,
he'd kill
yeah.
for a luscious head of red.
Yeah.
Oh, a couple of reds in the beard.
Did you?
Yeah.
I thought that was a bit
now Gray's
unnecessary.
coming through.
Oh,
So-
well, sorry, little Bowie.
There you go.
Mate, this is
Can
a-
you apologise to Jake
Sorry,
Bowie?
Jake. No,
Thank you.
I don't see it as a disparaging
But you
term.
said it in the way
You
that
said
it
it like,
was.
ranger.
That little ranger?
No, I was
I
trying
think
to
you called him a
remember.
little ranger
Yeah.
too, just to make it
He
even
is a
more
bit of a little
No,
truck,
you're a
isn't
dog,
he?
mate.
Sorry, jeez.
Anyway,
Not offended.
Dylan
There's a great
Williams-
history of great Queensland
Look
rangers.
at him trying to
State
talk
of origin.
himself out of it
Who?
now.
Fatty Vorton was one.
Yeah.
There's heaps.
I think there's heaps. One. Dylan Williams is the key. 12,
Okay.
12 games, 12 wins. He came in round 4. They haven't lost since.
There
Here
must
it
be
comes.
someone else that's young that's in there as well that's got a similar record.
Maybe I just haven't.
That has to be.
haven't
Because
looked that
they've
hard.
got a couple of kids that run around.
Yeah,
You go,
they have a
who
couple
are
of kids.
they?
Yeah, it's a good question.
I like some of those ones who's like an early-ish pick, but like spend a good 2 years and then they come through and they're good. And you're
yeah,
like, oh, well, he was
yeah.
like
Well,
23.
that's the whole point of state league football and
Yeah,
having
to
people
develop
down there.
people.
I was talking
Yeah.
about Brisbane today with like Jared Lyons, for example, who can't get a game.
Yep.
Well, imagine being a midfielder in their first or second year, learning at the state level,
Jared
and
Lyons.
Jared Lyons and those guys, Matheson and those,
Yeah.
you know, helps.
The
Real
barometer.
play, like real players.
It helps.
Yeah, real players. Speaking of Brisbane, so I wanted to, and I'm not sure this kid's getting the proper credit for the season he's having and the role he's being trusted to do week in, week out.
Okay.
But Will Ashcroft, like I know he's talked
We spoke
it a
about
bit.
that yesterday with a mate. We said we're kind of overlooking. He said,
Yeah.
I reckon I expected more. And then he goes, he averages 22
Yeah,
touches.
his average is 22.1, 8 contested, 4 clearances, and he kicks a goal every 2 games out of the midfield. And he's being trusted as one of like the core midfield rotation in a top 4 side.
Two reasons why he's not getting the fanfare.
Brisbane?
One, it's in Brisbane.
Yep.
And they
Yeah.
don't get the coverage. Two, he's in a very good midfield already. So
Yes.
if he were doing this for, say, West Coast or North Melbourne or one of the teams down the bottom of the ladder, we'd be raving
We'd be
about it.
trumpeting, yeah.
That's the difference. But he has not done anything wrong at all. He has not proved it wrong.
Who would you take if you had the draft again? Who would you
Well,
go first?
can we save that? Because I'm going to get to that for North Melbourne.
Well-
I don't have anything else for North Melbourne.
So it'd be interesting. I didn't revisit it, but I should have. Let's see what numbers Selwood was putting up in his first
But
year.
I thought the
But they
exact
were like
same thing today.
30,
I was going to put.
maybe?
And Walsh is the other one.
Were they more?
What was that?
Oh, I feel like it's a similar
Joel,
thing.
Joel was lower than you think.
Oh, really?
Like similar to that. I thought he might have been around a 26 or 27, Joel, in
Yeah.
his first year, but it wasn't that.
But even, so Ashcroft have had those games close to 30 too. Like, I
Yeah.
think it's a pretty similar, different players,
Correct.
obviously, but he's being trusted in a side that's going very well, could very well win a flag in his first year and go on.
I tell you, I find hard to watch at Brisbane. Hipwood.
Why?
There's no middle.
you don't know where
ground.
it's going? Yeah.
There's no middle ground.
He's either going through.
25 now, didn't we? Did we cover that last week? He's
Is he
25 now, Eric.
I thought he would be a bit older, to be honest. with you.
I wasn't sure how old he was. It looks like he's still 19.
Yeah. So kick 4 on the weekend was one of their best players.
Yep.
Then the week later, he's shanking the shit out of it.
Yeah.
Breaking people's fingers, giving away free kicks, and then
Yep.
he kicks 4 again.
Yep.
There's just it's no middle ground.
One or the other, is it?
Yeah.
You'd be filthy. He's one of those players, if he beats you, you're kind of filthy
Yeah,
about it.
how
Because
do
you're
you-
like, oh, really? Last
Because
week you were terrible.
You're seeing the other end.
Melbourne.
All right. We're going to talk about Gawn and Grundy. Unwrap it.
Yeah, it's a
No,
nut, yeah.
I reckon Melbourne are just spluttering along a little bit. Don't get me wrong, Clary Oliver being out.
Yeah, that's
That's a major problem. But they're sitting currently 4th, and they're only one game off 7th. Without Clary this week as well. He's such an important player. I get all that. They've got the Giants.
That's in Darwin?
It
that right?
is at TP,
Right.
which is
Traeger Park? is it?
Traeger Park.
Traeger
TIO, Traeger Park.
Yep.
I don't know. Are we thinking, is there any way in the world that Melbourne bite the bullet and go,
Drop Grundy?
we're not getting bang for buck? And
Well, I
Grundy
don't
took
think so,
4
'cause who
contested
goes
marks
in?
on the weekend or whatever. Just another midfielder.
Just another midfielder. So, but don't you need someone to chop out forward a little bit too?
Just put a pet. They don't kick goals.
Yeah. Well,
I think we
That's
went
the
in.
whole thing about this. Go forward.
They haven't been kicking them.
Yeah.
They don't kick goals.
This was before the season started, and I think even going back to last year, we were like, what are we most looking forward to? Or what are the most intriguing
Yeah,
storylines
that
of
was
the
one
year?
of them.
The Gawn Grundy one was because they're already a good side. They're bringing in a ruckman. It's an unorthodox situation
It's
because
just
they're,
turned
both,
into a meh.
they're pure ruckman. And here's the difference.
Neither of them average a mark inside 50.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Oh, jeez.
Less.
I feel like they're both half pregnant Do you know
That's
what I mean?
what I'm
Like,
saying,
you kind of, they're still both trying to ruck and they're both trying to place this forward.
Gun to the head, who would you take as a ruckman first in the competition?
Max.
I'm still going Max by a freckle.
Just over English.
But English is coming.
Yeah,
so
but Max hasn't been out of fire.
That's what I'm
because he
saying.
can't get any
You don't
rhythm.
take Kieran Briggs?
Oh,
Well, Briggs is
Here
the
it
man.
comes.
oh,
He's a
Briggsy.
third.
We'll get to Briggsy. Don't worry about that.
But, the average one clearance, Grundy averages less than one clearance a game.
So there's a two, right? There was
So what are you going to do?
No, sorry, less than 2 clearances a game.
Well, what are you doing?
See you later.
You probably got to
Dropping Grundy.
Yeah, I am. Just to see how it goes.
They're still figuring it out, right? The other two, the
But you can't
Jackson
just keep
Darcy,
figuring-
they
you can't
figured
just
out the
keep figuring-
split.
we're up to round
But
15.
no, that's what I mean. Like, it's taken them too long
And we'll
to
see.
figure it out.
I think they can keep doing what they're doing
Do you?
because they have to. Because if you're going to win a flag, it kind of has to be with both of them.
Can we just quickly extend this one too, by the way?
Okay, sure. Yeah. Well,
I've got another. They can't win a flag with their forward liners. Is Ben Brown going to come back?
Is he playing too?
The juice of Van Rooyen has run out.
Yes.
That
hit
was
a wall.
all.
Yep.
That was all lovey dovey.
Yep.
He hasn't kicked. He's gone one goal in his last that amount of games.
and I feel like Cozzy hasn't quite had the season he started.
because he kicked 5 one game or whatever, and
Yeah,
then rocket launched and
yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
I don't know. I reckon Melbourne need to pull some real strings. Otherwise, their season's going to peter out like it did last year.
Yep.
I think that Grundy gone. You've got to go back to an experienced forward. Van Rooyen, appreciate your efforts, but that's not getting it done in a premiership side.
You need a rest.
Well, yeah, or go back and kick a bag until you work your way back into form.
Yep.
Unfortunately, Melbourne aren't in the position where kids get games. They're there now. Like, they've got to go now. They're paying high-end talent a lot of money. I think Grundy have a spell and bring in another forward and just see if it works. Because at the moment, do you think Melbourne are premiership winning?
I think they're the fourth best team.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yep.
They can win it.
Which
but
means they could win it.
They can win it, but I thought they'd be the first team this year.
Yeah, I think there's an argument. Them and Brisbane were the two going in that you thought they're the clear standouts.
Turns out they added the ruck and the forward line didn't get any better.
No, which if you had them...
And that was the concern. That can either of these guys be pretty much a 70% forward? Because that's what they need.
Yeah.
Like it's different to Darcy Jackson. Because of Jackson's unique skill set, you can play him all over the place.
Yeah.
You can't do that with Grundy.
So
He
it's
doesn't
funny.
have that.
Looking at the goal kickers from the weekend for Melbourne, Brown kicked 2, Shacky kicked 2,
Shacky, I forgot he was
Melksham
there.
kicked
Oh,
4.
Shacky.
Yeah.
There's not a lot there. Spargo played in the 2. I'd rather bring in a Spargo or something to run around. Or is that the different Spargo?
So you
I
go.
thought Spargo was playing one.
No, yeah, Charlie.
There's another
in the
Spargo?
2s.
There's two Spargos.
No,
Wasn't he playing on the weekend?
no. No, in the 2s. Anyway, I reckon they need to start throwing the magnets around. There you go, blow the siren.
I'm glad we extended that one.
Well, I wanted to get the point of Van Rooyen.
True.
Yeah,
As
not-
nice as you think it is.
You know
he was
why?
He was a beast.
Do you know what this is? Think about it. ORTC, Melbourne fans love that brand. He wanted to extend because he knows that's the audience.
He
today.
knows, he wanted to
That's
catch
what
it
it
out of the
is.
clip.
Well, he was a
Wine,
second,
the cheese, and your ORTC jumper.
He was a second away from being subbed out before he kicked out 3 in the last quarter.
That's right.
Van
Yeah,
Rooyen.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, these games wouldn't have really happened.
Yeah,
Kids like that hit
No,
the
I
ball.
agree with you.
St Kilda.
That's me. So, remember they started 4-0?
They are so boring to watch.
Yeah, they're
So
just not
boring.
flash.
Wait till this week. They've been 4-6 since that start. So they're actually an under 500 team since the start of the season when they were 4-0.
Yeah.
They've lost 3 of the last 4. This is a big weekend for them. I know they're going to win the game, right? They're playing West Coast. But they can't just beat West Coast. And this is the point, right?
They can't put
If
them
you're
away.
a team now and you're playing the Eagles, you have to load up.
Yeah.
You cannot be hesitant to score. You cannot be hesitant to run. They can't go in and play that slow, methodic style. They need to win this game by 80 points.
The chance to boost massive
Well, their
percentage.
percentage is okay. It's 109.
They can't win it by that.
That's what I think so too. I just don't think they have
What,
the firepower.
Higgins is going to kick 10?
Well, so their percentage is 109 to clear the pack because the pack of like the 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, right down to 14 is tight. You need to add 5% minimum when you're playing the Eagles. The Swans added 16.
Yeah.
So they need to add at least 5. Otherwise, the other teams, when they play West Coast, are going to just bump.
What
This is
response do you think you're
a
gonna get?
sneaky big game. I don't know.
From
I don't
West
know.
Coast?
From West Coast?
Well,
What's
yeah,
that
yeah, no, from West Coast.
Oh, they don't have the cattle to respond.
Well, this is the problem. Well, I thought that too. I said, oh, mate, this will be the week they dig in. I don't know if
What are they
they're
gonna do?
capable of digging in.
Yeah, okay.
The other one,
So the line on the betting markets
It's
is
still only 50.
What do you think it should be?
It has to be more than that.
Well, it's 50 because of St Kilda, right?
It has
They
to-
don't think
But
that
it was
they can
50. It was
explode.
50 for Sydney.
Yeah.
Wasn't
It's
it?
the
Yeah,
same.
60, and Robbo said they were half a chance of getting that.
Well, it was
Ooh.
50 early in the week.
Ooh.
Well, I kind of thought they would lose by less last week. Let's not. Anyway, Jack Billings last week, 24 disposals,
played
3
well
goals
at
for
Toulouse.
Sandringham.
Yeah.
I reckon,
He's gotta get out
I
of
reckon
there.
you got to
Someone's
bring
gotta
him
get
in
him
at
out.
this
Well, they
point.
need someone like, and I know Billings has been
Maligned.
Yeah, much maligned player,
Yeah.
but he's the type of player that could have 20 and kick 2 or 3.
Yeah, bring him in.
Some sort of excitement.
Yeah, and him and Gresham together.
But geez, they're boring.
They're so boring. And that's why he brought him
Essendon's, there's a bloke running around for the Bombers who's looking very nice. He's a top 10 draft pick, but for some reason he's still well down the order. That's Ben Hobbs. So
Well, down
can-
the order of what?
down the order of like centre bounce attendances.
Oh.
Like the pecking order in the midfield at Essendon. I just don't know why they're probably not using him more. So he took
Does
him,
St Kilda and Essendon last in the 8?
Essendon, their draw's a lot better. So if they do, it's because of the draw.
They only leave Melbourne one more time
Yeah.
for the whole
And
season.
I think they've still got West Coast and North Melbourne again on the run home.
maybe.
Yeah, it could.
Like they had their draw. They if they don't make it, they've
Well, they
done
just
something
beat
really
North
wrong.
on their side, nearly.
True. I don't know what North are going to do. You think it get any better on the way home? Not a North Melbourne segment, anyway.
No.
So yeah, 26 and a goal against Freo. It's his second year. So the two strange things. The first strange thing I thought was that he wasn't in until round 6. You think you have a top 10 draft pick midfielder who showed a bit in his first
was
year.
he hurt though?
I don't think he was. Well, even if he was, it took him a while to get
Yeah.
back into the mix.
Yeah, he
But on the
definitely played a
weekend,
few in the VFL. Yeah.
How many centre bounces do you think he attended on the
So how
weekend?
many
Out
goals were
of
there?
out of how many? You took a percentage, or you took an?
Oh, let's just say there were 22. The highest one was 22.
Okay, Hobbs would have been in 8.
Yeah, I would say.
Yeah, it was
same.
7.
Yeah.
So he's behind. Parrish was 22, Stringer 19, Merritt 16, then Caldwell 14,
Yeah.
Hobbs 7.
I think that I wasn't on the program last week, but I thought we stated that, like, Darcy Parish coming back in. Dude, I think I said I'd be playing him half forward or something.
Yeah.
Because
They
what
said he was
what
most-
the group of mismatches did in there.
Merritt, Hobbs, and Caldwell,
Perkins,
Stringer.
all those
Yeah.
sort of guys.
Yep.
It was working to a degree.
Yeah.
And then you go, well, here's the bloke who's going to be in there nearly 100%
Every
of the time.
time. Yeah.
And then Setterfield's going to come back too.
He's not. I don't think he's part of it.
I think he is.
Nah.
Where else are you going to play?
he tapered
Twos.
really badly towards the end of
Twos.
his little
Do you
stretch
think so?
there.
Yeah.
His last game was pretty good.
Twos.
What?
Yep.
Will
No, I think
Setterfield?
What are you so
you
surprised
love
for?
Will
He's having a
Setterfield.
great
He
season.
spent like 3 years in the twos.
He was having a great season.
So you'd rather him take Hobbs' spot?
no.
You can't have 6 in there.
Trade Parrish. Get him out. I'd rather them than Caldwell as well. You can
Western
take Caldwell
Bulldogs.
out.
Yeah, I thought he'd at least John Caldwell.
Western Bulldogs, the key defenders have been absolutely depleted. Liam Jones was having a sneaky great year.
Broken arm, is it?
Broken forearm. O'Brien's done a hamstring. It's a tendon he won, so he's done for 8 weeks. The Bulldogs, they just need the ball to stay in their forward
Well,
half.
Tim
of the
O'Brien
ground.
is 38 years old or 22 years old, somewhere.
Dude, Tim O'Brien's up to his 18th
Yeah,
season.
yeah.
Mate, he was
How
at
old is
Hawthorn- I don't know.
he? Must
was
be
at
32.
He's
He was at Hawthorn when I was there, running around.
He's coming. Here he
Oh,
comes.
I got no idea.
That is remarkable.
But
Because
before,
it is a long time since this man played for Hawthorn.
before we get onto the doggies properly, I just want to tip my hat to Adam Treloar.
Yep.
He's had, this is just his last 8 games, 35, 35, 31, 34, 34 with goals in there as well.
Wow.
Yeah, Adam Treloar is absolutely
Little evergreen.
humming.
Little evergreen. Adam Treloar.
I love Adam Treloar. I'll never have anyone say a bad word about Treloar.
Yeah, no, I like him too.
I've always had money on him too. and he's generally been pretty good.
And he
with it.
comes late
He's
too,
generally
doesn't he?
been pretty
He's only be on 20 and he'll get the last 15.
He knows how important 1-2s are. But the doggies, so the defence is going to be depleted. We know that. But they've still got down there Caleb Daniel, who's been doing more midfield time. Would you play Caleb midfield or defence?
I've kind of liked his season.
Yeah, no, so do I.
Yeah.
But I just think keep him in defence. You've got all of a sudden McRae's on a half
Good
forward
user off the
flank.
back line.
Yeah.
Bailey Dale's humming.
a
Bailey
point of
Williams is
difference
kicking
as well.
goals and playing more wing.
The question will be Norton. Does Norton have to stay back now?
Well, a lot of people forget Norton was drafted as a centre half back.
Yeah, although it's now become like the Pendlebury basketball thing that gets mentioned in every single
Does it?
game.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, he played as a junior as a defender.
Well,
he was
an
drafted
ug-
from the
he,
back
he
line.
was an ugly kick.
Yeah,
It was all
yeah.
a bit
Yeah.
rude. Like Sam Taylor. There was the 2 question marks was their disposal.
Yep.
No, I think you just load it up and keep it forward. What, Roy Lobb's going to kick a goal?
Just try to outscore.
Like, Roy
Yeah.
Lobb's going to win it? I wouldn't have thought.
No.
Jamara showing a little bit. And I'm
We're now
still-
like 12 weeks in a row mentioning Rory Lobb
Yeah.
in
I
a
know.
negative way on this
No,
podcast.
but I don't mean it to insult
Did we
the
mention
guy.
him last week? I think they had the
Yeah,
bye,
no,
didn't they?
we got it in there.
Okay.
I don't want to insult the guy, but he's a bit like Brodie Grundy to me.
Yeah.
At what stage do you go, let's just have
It's
a go
not
without
working.
it?
It's
Well,
not
just see what the alternative
We're
is.
playing him on the wing for parts
What
of this.
benefit are we getting by having him in the team?
I just think that it needs to be the quickest brand of football off half-back for the doggies.
Yep.
With Bailey Dale, Bailey Williams, Caleb Daniel.
Who do you think's favourite for that? Who do you think's favourite for that
Dogs would
game? The
be
Dockers
Dog.
are paying $3.10.
Yeah,
$3.
Yeah, I'll take dogs.
$3.10.
Geelong, which is me.
Geelong.
That final quarter was electric. So I was put the kids to bed. Sometimes I decide whether I check the score and decide whether I'm going to watch from the start or just go to the end. And that one I tuned in for the last quarter when it was all evens, and then all of a sudden Geelong went bang, 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 bang.
Yeah.
So this is I'm considering them as the mix they've got forward. It's probably them and Adelaide are the two best balanced forward lines in the competition, because that wasn't the one on the weekend. That fourth quarter wasn't a Tom Hawkins and not a Jeremy Cameron. Shit mixed by his teammate, but. So that was, you have Rowan, Close, Myers,
That was my
all
comment in
run
the
over
paper.
top.
Gary Rowan knocked his mate out in the first and knocked the Demons out in the fourth.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
That's good by you.
And
Yeah.
it's good. Like they've got those are the two gears. Either go to the big guys or go to the little run and gun.
Mick Barlow
forwards.
reckons Gary Rowan's like their top 5 most important players.
Really?
There are certain dudes.
Nick's got a drinking problem, though.
yeah.
But there are certain dudes in teams that they're not their best players.
Yeah.
But they seemingly, if they win, these guys are the ones who pop up.
Well, he reckons he does the shit that Big Hawk can't do.
Well,
yeah.
Scurrying around.
Yeah.
And he
Jezza
stretches
Cameron's floating around.
Stretches the defence because he's
Yeah.
better than most teams' third back. That's the
Yeah.
thing, right? Because you're going to have to stretch. Oh, who's that third guy? Oh, Gary Ryan's pretty. If he's playing on your number one defender, Gary Ryan's probably not going that
There
great.
was that one, the one on May where the body contact didn't work, and then so May was running through mud trying to chase him into the goal. It's just like he offers that point of difference against those guys.
Talking about running through mud, it's funny when you see players playing in the wet, and some still look speedy. Some look really slow on a heavy 10. You're like, oh, God, Big Hawk doesn't need too many heavy 10s.
He's a big man.
Yeah.
He's a big man.
But I just love the two. With Gary Rowan at the start, was it last final series? There was some weird narrative that was coming out like, oh, is he going to show up? Never shows up in
What do
finals.
you mean weird narrative? He hadn't had a kick in a final.
Yeah, but it was also like a weird person to focus on. It's like Gary Rowan was not the make or break of the team.
I'm going to get
He
him.
was a handy extra
Well, Michael
piece.
Barlow says he is.
Well, yeah, sorry. Yeah, maybe Mick was driving it
Well,
then.
Gary Rowan's grand finals. Now, I don't want to run a bus over him. He had
Oh, yeah, okay, so he hasn't had it yet.
7 touches in the grand final v Sydney last year. In the prelim the year before, he had 1 touch. In the grand final before that against Richmond, he had 5 touches. In the qualifying final that knocked out against Collingwood, he had 3 touches.
That's not great.
No.
In the semi-final against Geelong, he was at Sydney, he had 7 touches. And in the grand final against the Doggies, he had 5 touches.
Okay, see.
The narrative was correct.
Wait, was that when he was at Sydney against the Dogs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is a player and
The narrative is
he
correct,
only
but I
needs
just
3
thought-
touches, though.
Yeah, I just
doesn't he?
thought he's in the wrong.
Maybe more than 3. But Mick Barlow reckons dead set. He says he's their
The
top
most
5.
important.
I reckon.
Top 5.
I reckon you missed Adelaide. Did you miss Adelaide?
I did miss Adelaide. Go back
okay.
to Adelaide.
All right, we'll go to Adelaide because we really want to talk about them.
Yeah, we love it,
geez,
Christ.
Dawson be flat about that free kick. The AFL's come out and said, yeah, no, it was a free kick.
I mean, I watched it in
Thanks.
real time. You couldn't have said it was very
it's
hard
tough.
to see. Really.
I thought
if you
it
were
was,
looking,
I was
you
watching
had
with the
3 other umpires.
I was watching with the sound off, and I thought they'd paid the free kick.
Yeah.
and then they didn't.
What about Jordan Dawson, just quickly on that? How he's the best big body midfielder in the comp at the moment.
He's amazing.
But how he just went forward.
35 disposals.
Yeah.
This is his stat line: 35 disposals, 9 marks, 12 tackles, 11 contested disposals, 665 metres gained.
Yeah.
He is
Right now, who are you taking, big body, Bont or Dawson?
Dawson.
Wow.
Mate, with Selby
But Bond's
messaged
like,
me.
yeah.
Selby messaged me saying he's like that kid when you're in year 7, the kid that puts his arms up and's got hair under his arms already. He looks so big out there.
He's massive. He is like, I know we've been on the Jordan Dawson train for a long time.
Yeah.
I'm pretty
But-
confident we were the first to mention his name.
Absolutely, we were.
But unpack it too. Remember last year they started him in the midfield? I'm like, what are you doing?
I
Yeah,
know.
get him. He's a half
Have
back.
they not seen where he plays?
Even we didn't see this coming.
No, shit.
Just quickly, Tex is now leading the Coleman.
At
Yeah.
33.
He's kicked 43 goals.
33 years old.
Yeah, isn't that remarkable? And,
So where are those highly paid young stars that we talk about?
well, I did
every
have a
second
laugh when I
sentence?
jotted it down. Remember when we were all trying to work out if Kerno and Cameron could kick 100?
Yeah.
No, not we all.
They're on
Not we all.
Well, a couple of us.
leave me
42.
out of that.
Curno's still only kicked 42.
Yeah, of course.
And Cameron's
We had the
kicked
bye on the
39.
weekend. Hard to add.
I know, but they've literally stopped since like
Yes.
round 6.
Of course they have. I mean, Jeremy Cameron wasn't in the top 200. Was it 250 players the other day? Champion data came out over the last month or something.
Just quickly, Texas career high is 63, which he did 11 years ago. Does he get that? 9 games to go.
Yes.
Wait, what's he on now? 50?
43. He'll get it easy, won't he?
Yeah, easy. I'm
I
surprised.
don't know.
He-
They
9 more
said-
games, 2 goals a game. That's
Nick,
18. So if
you
he
on the
goes,
gear?
just goes over a couple of
Could kick
times.
a couple of goals a game.
Yeah, but I just the Coleman it does my head in. The number just seems to get lower every year.
He could
so I just
absolutely
can't
win
faith
the
that they'll
Coleman.
get there. He could win it.
In fact, I think he will. Like, unless Curnow has another run where he goes
And they're going
mad.
shocking.
And they're going to play
Has they
West
got-
Coast
West
in the
Coast?
last round.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Tex,
it means
he'll
they're
kick another 10.
He kicks 80.
Yeah, that's-
2012, he kicked 63, then did the ACL.
Who's next?
Next, we're skipping to Gold Coast.
Gold Coast Suns. Does any pressure be added with Damien Hardwick? Yeah, the Hardwick
Oh,
stuff.
saying he wants to play. Yeah,
I'm
coach.
keen to coach again.
It's in 2 weeks. mate, relax.
It's credit to Stewie Jew. I tip my hat.
Another
60,
good performance.
63-point win.
Yeah, great win.
But we overlooked that, and I'm now talking about does Damien Hardwick add
I think
pressure
they hold. I think Gold Coast hold the line with Stewie Jew based
Good.
on this year. The jump.
Yeah.
Like the leap has come to like you can start to see it all working. So if you jump off now, you're
We've spoken
you're
about
doing
it
him
a
a
few times.
serious disservice.
It'd be a great time to take over Gold Coast.
Yeah.
Well,
Yes,
they
yeah.
still add missing, and we say it about Freo,
Yep.
and it could be Humphrey.
Oh, they're absolute
That
star.
get out of jail card for 15 minutes.
Yes. Have you? Who's this bloke? Jed, the academy kid. Is it Jed?
Jed Walter.
So I saw Kaotsumi say the other day that had he been in the pool,
He would be number one.
there'd be an argument right
Over
now about
Reid.
him or Reid.
Yeah.
There would be an actual genuine
He's been
argument.
dominated. The Allies might win.
No,
the under
they
18
probably will
titles.
win.
And this
off
kid's
the back of
going
this
to go
kid.
to Gold Coast and
They've also
play
got-
alongside Ben King. He's a massive key forward.
They've got two
strong.
other first rounders
Yeah.
in their academy as well.
So if you're jumping on now, if you're dimmer,
Yeah.
you're like, now's the time.
Nah, Stewie, write it out, Stewie.
I hope so too.
Yeah.
But right now, they just need, just for these games, that not the weekend because they smack the Hawks, where they were dog ordinary against Carlton.
Yeah.
Just a
It's
quick
the buy thing.
Just a quick, no, but they need a 15 minutes, get out of jail.
Yeah.
Dusty Martin's
I feel like
kick
it's
two in
going
a minute.
it's going to be Humphrey, right?
I think it'll be Humphrey.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah, he's
It
going to
looks
be
like
the X Factor guy.
And he cares.
Yeah,
he got angry at the weekend.
He
A
gets
couple of
angry.
scuffles. He was
Yeah.
right in there.
Yeah, I love
like
He's
it.
still got a little bit of chubby, like,
I was going to say,
baby fat on
great
him.
size. He's going to strip
Needs to lose
down a
5,
little
add
bit.
10.
He gets one of those like young fellas who gets real red.
Yeah.
The cheeks go real red real quick.
That's
Nah, we love him. Okay, so Tuke Miller, we forget
Yeah.
he's been out.
Couple of
Stewie
weeks
Jew's had
away.
a stiff run. We mentioned plenty of times with Wits, King,
Yeah,
Tuke.
yeah.
So
What
hold
do
on.
you do
when
with
Tuke's
what do you do
back,
with Tuke?
well, you bring. I mean, he can only really play in the midfield, right?
Yeah, that's where he plays.
I mean,
Can he
that's
play
what
higher forward?
I think you. I mean, he could. So you're thinking you don't want to change the current mix.
I don't think.
Fiorini's playing a lot of midfield. I mean,
Yeah,
yes,
he's probably the one.
he had-
He was almost best on ground on the
Yeah,
weekend.
38 on the
yeah, I
weekend,
know he
I'm
was
saying.
good, but
Hawks didn't really play.
Tuke's taking that role.
So Rao, Wits, Anderson,
Yeah.
Flanders was in there. So I'd like to see Flanders have a go. Like,
So can I
Tuke
ask-
Miller playing midfield is not going to help Drew and Gold Coast getting better.
When Tuke comes back, that's the first time they've had everyone.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I think so.
Have they got anyone that we're forgetting?
Not anyone massive.
No.
Like they got some guys, but not huge.
Mac Andrew, 4 contested marks too.
Mac
Very
Andrew
nice.
looks very nice.
Who are we on?
Fremantle.
Okay, let's take a moment.
What's going on here?
Just flipped open the paper and had a little look at Zave's team of the week. And guess who's in there?
Yes.
Liam Henry. Now,
Didn't have him on the ground though.
can I
I
take
refused to put him on the ground.
can I take you back to June 6, 2021?
Oh, he's got a notice. This
Where
been in the
Ryan
diary
Daniels
for a long time.
tweeted, tonight's performance is why you stick with Liam Henry through the quiet ones. Going to be a star for Fremantle Dockers, just needs seasoning.
That's 2 years ago.
Well, he's had the seasoning.
Was that
a little bit of salt, pepper,
He's well done.
a little bit of oregano,
Been marinating for
some
2 years.
paprika,
Yeah.
and look at him now. 32 disposals, 8 marks, 574 metres gained, and in Zave's team of the week, admit you were wrong. Liam Henry is going to be a star.
No way in the world am I saying that.
Had a good week.
Mate, one hot day doesn't make a summer.
Nah, this is it. This is the moment he
What
needed.
about the week before? People got, mate, he had 17 touches on the weekend. Josh Kelly had 32 and kicked 3 on him.
You can't, just let the kid have his moment.
No. We gave him second best on ground on the weekend.
Good. Got a
Triple
TV
M.
from the 7 coverage.
Did
One of
they
the
give away the TVs?
Yeah, give away the
We
TVs.
gave Sarong the 3 in the end
Fair enough.
with the clear and scrump work.
Yep.
But no, Liam Henry, my brother has copied and pasted some shit to me too over the past little while that hasn't come back to really glow with me. But no, he was outstanding.
Yeah.
I've always said he lacks a trick.
Yes.
And as a small forward, he lacks a trick.
The other night...
But out in the winging space...
Yeah, and that defensive...
beautiful.
There's so many times the other night I went, geez, Henry's going all right.
Yeah.
Geez, I must have said it 32 times.
Thought it was encouraging that he bounced back after that bad turnover on half back.
But
that
you know what?
A good game after that too.
They were looking for him. Like... Almost every he was
He wanted
he
it
was
too.
in the spots.
He felt good.
He got his confidence up, and he was suddenly like, actually, give it back, give it back.
There's a feel-good factor in a game when you feel like it's like basketball if they're running hot and draining. And
you're in the zone. Now, he's the one, if you look at all the draft picks, and their run is insane. Like, credit to David Walls, Peter Bell, these guys. The picks that they've made, almost all of them have come off. Not even just top 10. You go on deep, Darcy, Cox,
Schultz.
Ryan, Schultz, all these guys, Frederick at the back end. He was the one that didn't work. And now if that can be the ceiling.
Are you confident that
that's not what he's going to do every week?
Of course not. But
now that the confidence is up, if they've got him in the side and he's providing a little bit of flair, he can use the footy, he's confident.
I tip my hat to him. Absolutely.
Okay, we're good.
I had him on the wing too, and then I got to the Sydney game, and I was
Errol.
like, Errol had 32 and 23. Sorry there, Liam, mate. Off you go.
Even I won't defend that one. I've got to give it to Errol.
So on to Richmond. Question without notice. The Tim Taranto thing's bubbled all year, obviously. But where do you have him?
God, I hope he wins the Brownlow.
In terms of the best players of the season.
Tim Taranto? The Brownlow?
Yeah, so I gave one of my mates, like when the born and the mums and whatever, you go get a little cardigan and all that sort of shit.
Yeah.
I gave him 100 on Taranto to win the Brownlow.
I love that.
Yeah, at 41s.
I love that.
Yeah.
I've never thought of doing that for someone. You
so
place a bet for someone as a gift.
Yeah. What do you do, a printout in a card?
So I wrote a little card.
Yeah, nice.
So Selby had his kid last week.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
So I was watching Royal Ascot on Saturday night.
Yeah.
And the horse that won the last, I had a couple of hundred on that for him to win the Melbourne Cup. Package that up, send it off to little Arlo.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I love that.
Anyway, Taranto's cash outs is like $550. And I'm like, no, we're not taking it, mate. We're riding it.
Because what you want to do is you want to get the kids gambling from birth.
Oh, yeah.
Like this is a new marketing technique.
It's fair to say the mum wasn't happy.
Yeah.
But if the young fella wins over $4,000 to put in a little fund,
30 years from now, he's in counselling. You can see it.
Yeah.
Like, where did your addiction start? Yeah. Well, the first gift I ever received was a bet on the Melbourne.
So we start with Uncle X. But anyway, Taranto, no, he's not the top midfielders, but he...
No, but like players this year, like in form line and everything, top 5, top 10...
No.
Just in terms of the fact that he's the side's not playing as effectively?
No, but you're playing inside mid in a pretty contested side.
Yeah, you're going to get it?
Well, someone has to.
Kicking goals too?
No, he's going to poll a lot of votes.
I think he will.
I think we're looking at 20 plus.
But if I put him up against 15 other midfielders, you're probably
picking the other one.
But I'm certainly not buying that he's not in the top 150 player. He's in the top 20.
Bet Jordan Dawson for the Brownlow.
There you go. He's
paying $10.
Yeah,
he's too. The umpires wouldn't know Jordan Dawson.
Yes, they do.
Mate, they listen.
Now,
the
he's the
umpires
captain,
listen to
mate.
this podcast.
Mate, sometimes he's one of the ones that float under the radar.
Last year they didn't quite know him.
Didn't know the role.
Now they know.
Yeah.
Now they know.
Sydney.
Swannies. I got the Swannies. 171 points. Still not in the 8. Last year's grand finals. We spoke about all the stats and numbers earlier.
Yep.
Are they a chance to make one of the latest runs?
Yep.
Do you remember how close were you paying attention? What's the number?
40.
Oh, okay, good.
So their run home. So I had it up. I dart between this app too often. So their run home is, keeping in mind they've just played themselves into form, SCG Geelong.
I think they'll win that.
I think they do too. Then they got Richmond at the G. Dogs, Freo, Essendon, Giants, Suns, Adelaide, Melbourne. They are all right around them.
Yeah.
Like you go through it, 8th, 10th, 14th, 6th, which is Essendon, 11th, 7th, which is the Dogs, 12th, which is Richmond, and then 9th, which is Geelong. They are the teams that they have to beat.
Yeah.
Because they're the ones you're getting games off.
And that percentage boost we talked about helps big time.
Well, sitting there at 113 now, which is sitting just a fraction behind Geelong.
Yeah, because before it was like, their percentage is also very ordinary.
Yeah.
Like it's going to struggle.
Well, look at Freo's percentage.
Yeah. What is that?
97.
So, they got the Derby in a couple of weeks.
16.6% behind Sydney now.
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah.
That could actually decide who makes it and who doesn't. I thought that was the game they needed to have. It happened at exactly the right time for them. And it got a few guys up and going. Heaney was great, obviously. Errol was fantastic.
Can I claim a guy? And I think I have.
Who?
And I've been sort of reaping the rewards. Amadi.
Oh, you love Amadi.
I love Amadi.
Yeah,
Amadi
love
party.
the Amadi
He kicked 5 on the weekend.
Did he? Is that what he got?
4, wasn't it? They both had 4?
4, was it? Yeah. Like, I think Amadi's something that will be very, very good.
Yeah,
So-
see, I don't 100% see it, but I'm happy for you to see it.
untapped.
Yeah.
Like, drops a chest mark here and there.
Still
Might take
Like a
one
baby giraffe still.
No, but like we'll drop a chesty.
Yeah.
And then we'll take a one-hander on Tom Barrass, run around his right and snap it from the boundary line.
Yeah, there's something there.
Yeah.
There's definitely something. Is he young, Amadi? He has to be.
Yeah, he's only about 21.
he's
Is
not
he?
old.
He's not one of these sneaky old guys, is he?
Nah.
It's not like, Amadi's 26.
No, the party doesn't start at 26.
I think he's 2021.
Amadi kicked 4 on the weekend. He's
How old
age
is he?
23.
23. See, that's sneaky older than we thought, though.
He's a big forward. Keep
Yeah.
forward. GWS.
That's me. Speaking of the ladder,
They're still like very low.
they're 14th, but they're the last team I think that can
Yeah.
make it. But how spewing would they be? They're the only team that's lost to West Coast. So not only do you
Yeah.
not get the
How
percentage
does
boost, you actually lost.
So they had
that
full
game.
strength West Coast and came over without Whitfield
Yep.
and Kelly.
Yep.
So I remember
Yeah.
both them got
Timing is
concussion.
That's right, over here.
That's right.
Yeah,
Timing is everything. Because then the week after was the Derby, and when West Coast lost like
everyone.
20 players.
Yeah.
That's rough, and it could be the thing that just rules them out. I mean, they're probably not going to make it anyway. But I have liked the way they've been playing recently. Himmelberg gone back, big tick for me. I think it's
Not a $900,000 tick.
I like it. I think he plays his best footy there. Now,
I don't want him in back, but it's not
Briggsy,
worth 900.
on our man Briggsy. 2021 plays 5 games. 2022 plays 4 games. Fill in ruck, third ruck. Everyone else was injured.
You know you're going to get dropped. As
Yeah,
soon as
correct.
someone's
Yeah,
right,
exactly. He's played 5 games this year. Now, I was like, what is it that he's doing? He's getting about 14 disposals, which is about right for a good ruckman. He's not taking that many marks. He's like maybe 2 or 3 a game. Hit outs 26, which is good, but it's not like stupid. It's tackles.
Yeah, Hunt.
So Nank is the number 1 tackler for ruckman.
Nank's having a good year as captain too.
Yeah, 6.4 a game. Briggsy's next. 6 tackles a game. So that's more than English. It's more than a tackle and it's 1.3 tackles more than English and Rowan Marshall. He's a big
Romo. Oh,
You don't like that?
Love it.
That's his go. He's a big cuddler. He just wraps him up. He's big body. He reminds me so much of Sean Darcy.
Well-
body size wise, like he's just thick. He's such a thick dude.
there's a good case to be made for just drafting thick ruckman and trying to shape him.
Well, Clarko used to get up ruckman, not expecting him to dominate actual football.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But just do something.
Have
one trick.
And Briggs just does something.
Yeah.
Like he
Yeah.
tackles or he bumps or he slaps it on
You
his
know
boot.
what? And that's
He's not hanging around.
Bringing the Grundy into it. That's where he slipped into the what's your thing?
Yeah,
mode. Of
that's it. Well,
ruckman.
what's Grundy?
Well, his thing
Yeah.
used to be that he ran.
Yeah,
and
but
created
it
space.
doesn't anymore.
Find the footy
Yeah,
and was
extra
extra
midfielder.
midfielder.
He's just
Yeah.
an ordinary ruckman now.
Yeah.
Is Briggsy in the top 10 players you'd least like to get tackled by?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Be warm though. Be a nice big warm cuddle.
Big Briggsy.
cuddle.
Imagine
Strong.
Who's that bloke?
if you were his girlfriend, he'd be happy.
Big Briggsy.
Big nice warm cuddle in
He'd
winter.
make you feel safe.
Sorry, Chef.
little blanket.
Carlton.
Sorry, mate.
This is where we get to
tasteful.
Carlton, and I don't know.
It's a cuddle.
You know what I'm going to do with Carlton? I'm going to give him.
No.
Shannon, give it to
Oh,
him.
you
the
dog.
Blues.
I was flicking Hawthorn.
You can't flick your own team.
I was flicking Hawthorn.
No,
we,
it's too
we- and
early.
we flicked Hawthorn last week. You
Yeah, I
can't
don't
do it
think
2
you
weeks
can
in a
do it 2
row.
weeks in a row. I'm done with Carlton. I just
He
don't
was
wanna
going to
do
flick
that.
Hawthorn. That's
don't
almost worth talking about in the Hawthorn section.
So I've got a theory. Sam Mitchell rang the AFL and said, look, the Sicily tackle was dangerous. We need him rubbed out. Do you mind suspending him for 3 weeks?
We're winning too many games.
because he's the best defender in the competition. We're winning too many games, so we're still going to end up with a top 3 draft pick, and we all know how good Hawthorn are going to be. It's perfectly worked out for
No, I
us.
don't mind that theory, actually.
Okay. Conspiracy.
Yeah, I don't mind that.
And Sicily will come back in 3 weeks. You'll sit someone on his ass again. Then he'll miss another 3, and before you know it, the season's done, and the Hawks get 3rd.
Well, given that you didn't have anything to prepare for, I'll ask you a question. I know you probably haven't spent the time scouring who the top 10 draft picks are going to be this year, so I won't ask for a name. But what type of player with a top 3 pick would you like them to add?
It's funny. I would love a top-end midfielder. Just to go, here's 4 of the absolute best.
So at that point, you'd have
Ward dominating the 2s on the weekend. I think he had 38 or something.
Right.
So assume he would come back in.
Will Day,
Mackenzie, and then maybe him. Or with chips out on Denver Granger, Barras, who was picked 6 a couple of years ago, Keyback. Keyback needs to be there. I reckon they're a free agent target, though, for Keybacks.
Yeah, you could find one that's
you can find
I reckon, like Himmelberg, for example.
Harrison Petty types.
Yeah, but like...
I'm trying to think of the top 10 Keybacks. It's like Rance, Over the Journey, Talia, I think it was top 10.
Draft picks.
Yeah, like for a key defender.
I said, well, Sam Taylor's first round.
Yeah, but he was in sort of top 10 areas. Like, it's quite high
there's
to
not
be
a
picking
lot.
a Keyback.
Yeah.
That Daniel Curtins that talked about a top 10. I'm not really sure.
I reckon if you're the top end,
Wiedering, pick one.
Wiedering, pick one, sorry.
It's either a forward or a mid, and I reckon you find your defenders.
Yeah, you can get a defender.
I think. Are you happy with another extra midfielder in there?
I think so, yeah. I mean, you're sort of ignoring Newcombe as well.
Yeah.
I think Hawks went and got their key defenders all through that
I'm talking
era.
about
So Brian Lake, Gibson.
Yeah, they find them, yeah.
They just got them.
I'm talking to win a premiership in 5 years.
But he's only 23, isn't he, Newcombe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He'll be there.
I want another A.
Is he 23? I didn't even think he was that old. North Melbourne.
That's me. Jeez, I had to struggle because I knew I wasn't going to get to bullet them because I knew someone would have already bulleted them.
Yeah.
Eddie Ford, I just want a flag. Just put it in. I like him. Eddie Ford.
A cool name.
Yeah, good name. Eddie Ford.
Ford.
I like it.
And he moves well. He's a good kick of the footy.
Sounds like he's from like a Happy Days specialist.
Yeah.
Eddie Ford's rolled into town.
Now, I mentioned when we were talking about Ashcroft to just hold off because I wanted to talk about the draft. And the reason is because Wardlaw, I think, I know he's quiet in his last game, but I really like Wardlaw. Yeah. And obviously Sheasel's had a fantastic season.
If we break it down over the next 50 North Melbourne podcasts we do, how many do you reckon we'll do around Wardlaw and Sheasel?
49.
Yeah.
So the top 10 of the draft, I only included the 10, and I looked outside the 10, but there wasn't that many who have had a big impact. It's early. We shouldn't be doing this for 5 years.
But we have to talk about something.
Cadman went 1, Ashcroft went 2, father-son. Sheasel, Wardlaw. Sardis is the only one who hasn't played yet.
He's playing good VFL.
Because he was injured and now he's playing VFL. Bailey Humphrey, our man. Cam McKenzie, Jai Clark, Jinby, and then Filippo.
We haven't seen much of Jai Clark yet, have we?
Clark, so
1 or 2 games?
Yeah, we can rule Clark out because we just haven't seen him. And Sardis, we haven't seen him at all.
Essendon got smashed in the 2s on the weekend, and Sardis did...
21 or something.
Yeah.
So out of those, is it Ashcroft is still the standout first pick, or are you saying it's Sheasel or Wardlaw? Ruben?
Bailey.
I'm a humper, mate, through and through.
Out of all those blokes, you reckon Humper's going to be the best out of the lot?
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's got the Petrarca, Dusty, Dangerfield.
You'll be able to rely on the Ashcroft and the Wardlaws and stuff.
Top end, they could all win Brownlows.
I know. Give me the best 3 then out of that group.
Bailey, Humphrey.
Humper, Ward, Law, and Ashcroft.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I think I got
so Nathan Brown on Triple M, they do that hitch caravan. You have to sort of make a call. He said that Fletcher,
Jasper Fletcher,
he's taking him over Ashcroft.
Hey?
He thinks that his career might be better.
Who said that?
Nathan Brown, forecasting the future.
Better career.
You reckon that might have a better career? That was what he hitched his wagon to.
Wow.
He hitched his caravan or whatever it is.
Jeez.
But no, they're hump for me.
Yeah, okay.
West Coast, where do you even start? I didn't like the timing of the S&C bloke. I felt like he seemed to be hung out to dry a little bit.
Yeah, because if he's not the scapegoat,
it was announced on Monday or Tuesday that he was finishing up at the end of the year.
There's no way for anyone to perceive that in any other way. I'm not saying he was the scapegoat.
No, and I know maybe next week someone else might go, the week after someone else might go.
There are,
if it's the start of something like that, I just thought like that was the time. If you're going to do a scalp, like do a big scalp or don't. just don't.
I think head of fitness is a pretty big scalp.
There are
club.
there's
and
7 or 8 people have already left. Like, just they're not big ticket items, but there is turnover happening. This guy was universally loved by the players, right, Zave?
Yeah, Ripper coach.
Very popular. There since 2008.
Yep.
Which would have been not long after you would have got there shortly after that. 5 years after. So he's been there.
Increased significantly.
Been there a very long time.
there.
Won a premiership. So he's not the whole problem.
Yeah.
But the timing of the announcement after 171 points, it makes it look like he's the guy.
Yeah, but the pie will add up. It'll be whether someone from the board leaves, whether it's footy.
Yeah, but
I reckon that say there's 5 different areas.
Yeah.
The footy department will lose some. The S&C will lose some.
Yes,
board
I'm just
will
saying
lose
from
some.
a comms point of view, it's a sort of consistent this year.
No, you can't underthink it.
Can you imagine
Zave.
if you were the bloke? I'm finishing up after 15 years. Oh, we're going to announce that we just lost by 200. We're going to announce to you tomorrow. Like,
It's
I think he's contracted, so I think.
Well, he's going to be there to the end of the season.
No, he's contracted next year, I think.
Yeah, but he's going to see out the rest of the season too.
Yeah, so it's like, I don't know. I think there's way bigger issues than announcing.
there is
Warren
definitely,
Cofer
but we've
leaving
already
on
talked
Monday.
about all of them.
But you add them up. Like,
No, I get
this
that.
is just another one.
I get that. They're going shithouse.
Rhino's
But-
written that column twice about the little things.
I have. I don't want to have to write it a third time. Like,
Yeah.
get the little stuff right. This is another one in the long
Just a
list.
little.
So I think Cofe's on the way out. Like, what you want to announce, slowly wait to the end of the year and then announce everyone.
No,
Would you know,
yeah,
just-
I guess so.
just-
Yeah,
All
do
right.
that.
After
well,
a
don't do
seven
it.
after-
Then you'll all be going, oh, they've done nothing.
Well, don't do it till. Well, so he
Well,
is
yeah,
the
but
guy.
that's
then.
a strategy
No,
as well.
but I reckon there's more to come.
But that's a strategy as well. And it seems to be they're quite defiant about things. It would be like,
Yeah.
well, don't give them anything. But instead, they sort of offered up this bloke.
It looks from the outside. I know you're connected in there. It looks on the outside like you've lost by 171 points. You need to throw someone under the bus,
It's
and
the
this is the
strength
guy.
and conditioning,
And I know that's not the case because they love him, and I know he's very good at his job. But it looks that way.
Yeah.
It
So
does.
If I was
That was the reception on social media yesterday. That was the reception.
Who cares
It
about
looks
social
like
media?
this
That's
bloke,
where the fans are, mate. That's
this
where the
bloke
public is.
couldn't stop 36-year-olds getting hammy, so he's done. We ripped him out.
They can't keep pretending that stuff doesn't matter because it does.
Yeah. Well, I don't care. I couldn't care. I've done enough West Coast for 2 years. I couldn't care.
All right, let's move on to...
Cowboys.
All right, just throw them up who we got. Last week I went Sheldrick as the main man with Bont as the 2IC.
Good timing from
So
him.
I'm going to hold. He holds it. He
Well, we
can't- he has to hold it
talking
off
about
there.
Sheldrick enough.
No.
Probably not. He's getting.
No,
like,
we didn't get-
He was huge.
Love him.
First round draft pick.
Everyone was huge.
We
though.
gave him a huge pump up last week. Huge pump up when you weren't here. And
Sheldrick's in. I
you
like
get the
him.
rising
Yeah,
star.
he's-
So,
he
so
holds
are you
the crown.
changing anything? Bont, surely you're going to kick Bont out. You just replaced him with
I just
Jordan
replaced him with Dawson. So I'll replace him with Dawson.
Oh, don't do that. I was going to go Dawson.
I'll find someone. I'll bring my man back in. Jared Berry can sit there in number 2.
Okay.
Jared, he was good on the weekend.
I like
Berry
him.
again.
Big Berry man.
20 disposals.
Who did I have last week?
Last week you had Briggs into
At the main man?
as the main man
Yeah.
into Taylor.
Oh, geez, they're both very good. Yeah.
Sam Taylor?
No, I'm putting Errol back to number 1. That was a beautiful game. And
Yeah.
I'm putting Jordan Dawson into the reserve spot.
Okay. Oh, so you just wanted him for the reserve.
Yeah.
Yeah. Reserve anyway. Don't worry about it.
Who did I have by any chance?
Well, it wasn't you,
Oh, I bet they played for Hawthorn.
but it was Butters and Waitman.
Yuck.
Really? Who was that? Robbo.
That's
Robbo.
not me.
Yeah.
That was Robbo.
No,
You know, it
that's
wasn't you
Robbo.
because it's you.
Shut
No,
up.
yours,
Well, you
his
gotta
was
swing all the
Sicily
way
and
back.
Lewis.
Yeah,
like
you
two
had
Hawthorn
Nash
players.
and Lewis or something.
Right, let's go with number 1 man. It's time to party.
Marty
Marty
Party.
Party.
Marty
number 1.
Party numero uno.
Yep.
Wow.
And number 2 is going to be Dylan Moore.
You just have to have one.
I have to chuck
You
a
wanted
bit
to
of
boot him,
Hawthorn
and now you're
flavour.
just bringing them in every chance you can. All right, that's been the Hardball Gets AFL show. Thanks to our friends at
ORTC.
ORTC.
At ORTC. I have just done a half an hour podcast on West Coast.
Proudly
So I'm a little bit West Coast.
Is
now.
that why you were
Oh.
cranky?
Proudly brought to you
you're
by the
West
Mazda
Coasted out.
BT50.
Jeez.
You do you. We'll see you next time.